Hello everyone, my name is William Tran, Solution Architect at Tran Consulting Inc. Today we'll focus on part 2 of the Transition to Lightning series. What is configurable in Lightning Experience? If you have not seen part 1, I highly recommend that you do that before viewing this particular video. As you can see in front of you, this is Salesforce in Lightning Experience UI. We'll start with the navigation menu. Is this configurable? Yes, it is. You can tailor this menu however you see fit. Just keep in mind that this particular navigation menu is not a user preference as it is today in Salesforce Classic. In Lightning, it can be configured but only by an administrator and at the profile level and not at the user level. For example, you can configure the menu to be different for sales users versus a support users or administrator. So I have customized this menu. Let me change that real quick and we can refresh and see. So as you can see, I customized or configured my navigation menu to show different items that I am working or interested in working on. So in addition to the out of the box or the standard objects, you can show custom objects also. You can even show your Visualforce pages that you created in the classic version. Let's go to the home page. In the spring release of 2016, there's certain configuration you can do. For example, adding the insights, which I don't have here today, the customer insights. But in general, this page is not very configurable. However, in about a few weeks, for summer 2016, which is scheduled to be released for everybody in early June, this page is customizable. In fact, you can even assign custom pages for different profiles similar to this navigation menu. Now let's jump to the next one, accounts. The display here is a list view display, very similar to the classic version. The list view that you see is configurable in that you can create new list view. So I created a configurable list view right there. The first thing that you need to note is that when creating the list view, you get two sharing settings: private to yourself and public to everyone. But you're missing the third one, which is available to public group. So that's not available in Lightning. You have to go back to the classic version to be able to create list views that are available to public groups. Another thing to note is that in the Lightning version, you don't have inline edit for list view. That's something that they'll likely built in the future, but it's not there today. The columns are configurable similar to how it was in Classic. If I scroll up here, this is new in Lightning. It's called charts. And charts are configurable to a certain extent in Lightning. You can change the group by, and you can change the chart type. The filters are configurable in the sense that you can add and remove filters to change the actual list view, what data comes back in the list view. One thing to note is that filters in Lightning cannot, or currently does not support the advanced filters, the ability to do and, or, and not. But in 2016 summer release, which is in another about couple of weeks, that feature will be available, but not everything. I believe not is still not available, but you can have 1 and 2 or 3. Let's go into the account details page. In the accounts details page, this is the out-of-the-box layout. You can see on top, this is called a highlight summary screen or summary level information. This is configurable. You can choose what attributes or what information you want to display on the top. So that's configurable. Typically, you would want about 3 to 4 fields, but it's up to your business if you want 1 or 2 or anything else. These buttons here, that's definitely, they're configurable, similar to Classic. The only difference is that you will have 3 of them here, and the rest are in the drop down versus seeing all the buttons together in Classic for all of them. One thing to note is that the details page here is configurable similar to Classic. This is the page layout. For tasks, events, and log a call, again, these are page layout similar to Classic that you can configure. As far as configuring this whole page, it is possible to configure that. One thing I have to note is that this feature is only in pilot mode right now. However, in the summer's 2016 release, it will be available for production also, and that's only about 3-4 weeks away in early to mid-June. Let me show you what can be configured for this whole page. I mocked up an example to show you what can be configured. So let me refresh the page. As you can see, this layout is totally different from the out-of-the-box layout that was there before. You can add tabs. You can rearrange any of these components. Top, bottom, left, right. It's up to you. And also, in addition to just the out-of-the-box components, you can, if you have custom components, you can add in here, or you can get components from the exchange, the app exchange. You can also get the show the Visualforce page, also reuse what you have in Classic, or you can even build a new one if you like. So personally, I think this is a very powerful tool for administrator to use to tailor these pages for the needs of the companies that they work for. We can jump to the next object, opportunities. So what's configurable in the opportunity list view? Pretty much the same as the account list view. So we can just go straight to the opportunity page. For the opportunity details page, it's a special page that Salesforce called a workspace. So workspace exists for opportunities and for leads. But otherwise, you can think of it as an opportunities details page. The difference is that it has this sales, it's not sales path, but it has this sales process where you can customize or configure these statuses to what fits your business process or your sales process. In addition to the sales process, there is this what's called sales path. And in the sales path, there's two distinct area or two distinct features. The first is key fields. You can add up to 5 key fields in each of these status or stage. And you can also add instructions or guidance for success. This is a configurable rich text format where you have up to 1,000 characters that you can add, and you can also include pictures and links. Similar to accounts, this whole workspace is also configurable. I mocked up another example for the opportunity workspace. So let me refresh here and we'll see what is there. So as you can see, this looks totally different from what's there before. I removed the summary data. I kept the sales process and sales path. I added a component called um, report charts. So I added report charts for opportunities. I added report charts for accounts. This is opportunity by stage and accounts by type. And then here I have the details page for the opportunity. Again, you can configure this however you like it based on the needs of your company. Let's look quickly at reports and dashboard and see if there's anything there. For reports, if you look close enough, there's really not much in Lightning today that you don't have in Classic. So the configuration part is very similar to what it is in Classic. So there's really not much to get into. The only thing to note for reports is that you don't have the export function that you have in the Classic version. There's no export functionality. That being said, um, in the summer 2016 release coming out in the next couple weeks, that will be available. As far as dashboards, again, very similar to Classic. The only difference is that it looks much nicer, and you can, but as far as just adding dashboards and creating dashboards, configuring dashboards, it's very similar to what's there in the Classic version. Here, I'll just add a couple different charts here. So this is a bar chart. I can change that into a donut chart. So let me add a donut chart. Then I can add a bar chart. So it looks very nice. A lot more flexible than the classic dashboard functionality, but all in all, from a configuration perspective, it's very similar. So, so that's pretty much what I want to show as far as what's configurable in Lightning. One thing also to note is this plus here. It's global action. That also is configurable. You can remove and add out of the box actions, or you can create your own global actions and add it to this list. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.